Dislike back row, want a budget-friendly deck? Want to be able to say Ca-Caw anytime you want or summon a monster? Well, then look no further. The Simorgh deck is right for you. That's right. The baby birdies start out very, very small, but don't underestimate their talents because when they grow, oh, they'll come and scratch you. These are the baby birdies right here. Let's get started with this profile. I'm the Raging Snail. Thank you guys so much for watching. There are 3 baby birdies that I play. The double summon, or I should say an extra summon, but it's a double summon. The Searcher, I can search any Simorgh card, Monster Spell or Trap, and the Simorgh Foolish Burial. That's pretty much what they all do when you normal summon them, and they have a secondary bonus effect where if they're in the graveyard and your opponent controls no back row, you can special them from the graveyard. Now you can only use each of their effects once per turn, and if you do that secondary effect of revival, they will be banished when they leave the field. Bird of Beginning is a nice 1-star, or level 1 I guess, so you can do some Link 1 plays there. For the big birdies, I play 2 Lord of the Storm and 2 Lord of Darkness. These combo pretty well with Dark Simorgh, who I only play 1 of, and I do play the one Bird of Ancestry. These 2 are really good on the board. If you tribute summon him, he cannot be targeted by spell or traps, and when a winged beast monster is destroyed by battle, while he's in the graveyard, you can add him to your hand. He works very well with the Darkness, where when he's also on the field, he's Wind to tribute, and when you tribute summon a Dark or Wind monster, you can special him from your hand or graveyard. So they're pretty good there. They both have nice 2900 attack, 2000 defense. They both also have these nice problematic trigger negation effects, where when a spell or trap card or effect is activated, you can either tribute 1 wing beast monster, then target 1 card your opponent controls and shuffle it into the deck, or you can tribute that 1 wing beast monster and negate the activation and destroy it. So you have options there. They're both level 8, so if they go in the grave, you can recycle them pretty easily. Dark Simorgh you can bring out from your hand or graveyard by banishing the opposite combination of one dark and 1 wind monster. And what's cool is when he's on the field, your opponent can't set any cards. Really good help locking down your opponent in this deck, because if they can't set and, well, your opponent is not supposed to have any back row, the Simorghs just run wild. The last guy, Bird of Ancestry, he has this really interesting effect where both players contribute summon wind monsters with one less tribute than required. So he's kind of cool in that sense. But as long as you tribute wind monsters to bring him out, you can balance up to 2 cards your opponent controls, and that doesn't target. So really cool there. The other big bird that I like to play that's also an 8 is the Thunderbird, the Danger. What's cool is that even if you discard him through trade-in or through zone effect, not only can you pop a card, which of course is back row, but you also get the draw off trade-in. So that's pretty cool there. Another big bird note is Apex Avion, essentially just a free negate, always good. And with the Link monster, which you'll see in a while, Link monster can just bring out wing beast monsters depending on the number of back row on the field. So if there's less back row, you can bring out the really strong birds. Kind of a tech card, I guess, but one I really like this deck is the Turquoise Warbler. He is a 1, so you can do some Link 1 plays there too, and he has a really great effect where if you control no monsters, you can just special him for free from your hand. And if you do it this way, if you have another one in your graveyard, you can bring that one out too. So essentially you get 2 monsters for nothing. Really awesome, really good at getting your tributes off and getting your plays going. Another level 1 that you can play is DD Crow. This card sometimes gets sided out depending on what I play against my opponent. It is a wing beast, and it's a dark, so it has some pluses and cons, pros and cons there. And of course, you can just banish a card from the graveyard, which is always awesome. The last monster I play is the Barrier Statue, because when you bring this out with your big bird, it essentially locks your opponent out because they can only special summon wind monsters. And that won't be a problem for you because your deck is all wind monsters. As for spells, Simorgh likes their spells, and this Sacred Lands is very important to him. It boosts all wing beast monsters on the field by 300 attack and defense, and then it has 2 effects that you can do both on the same turn, just once that turn. If you reveal a level 5 or higher winged winged beast monster, you can normal summon winged beast monsters for 1 less tribute, which is awesome. Even if this card leaves the field, which is cool. It helps reduce your big birds down, so hopefully they only cost 1 tribute, so it gets them easy on the board. And then its other effect, which is probably the most broken one ever, is if you control a winged beast monster, you can immediately normal summon 1 winged beast monster. So I should say, I should clarify, it's if you control a winged beast monster, but most likely you will. 1 terraforming to search it out. As for the other Simorgh cards, 3 onslaught. Onslaught is absolutely awesome, and 1 repulsion. Onslaught is your searcher. Repulsion is kind of your bouncer. Onslaught, if you discard a winged beast monster, you can search 2 Simorgh monsters with different attributes from deck your hand. So you basically want to search a big birdie and one of the little birdies in that case. And then repulsion, you can discard 1 winged beast monster and it bounces all your opponent's spell and traps to their hand. It's really awesome. I only play 1 of it though because you do so much bouncing in this deck. You only need to play 1, and seeing it early on or late, I can't remember which, it depends. Yeah, this card goes back and forth. It's good to have, but not always necessary. These both have secondary effects where they're in the graveyard. You can banish them to reduce the levels of all monsters in your hand by revealing 1 winged beast monster. So, you reveal the 1 winged beast monster in your hand, and then all the monsters with that name get a reduction of 1 level. Of course, we gotta play trade-in. This is kind of your draw power, and it gets your big birdies in the grave. No problem there. As for traps, we play Harpy's Featherstorm, and 3 of it. I went back and forth between this card and Icarus Attack. This card just seems to be more beneficial to me, especially the way the game is right now. Because if you control winged beast type monster, it turns off any monster effects your opponent activates. So really good at shutting your opponent down for a whole turn. And if you control a Harpy monster, you can activate this card from your hand. You may not control a Harpy monster 99.9% of the turn, but there is a link called Harpy Conductor. So it takes 2 wind monsters. It's really good to make it with the little birdies. It doesn't really do anything for you, but it's a nice beat stick. And if you can make it with 2 birdies, you can link into this, you bring back a birdie, and then you can use Harpy Conductor and that birdie you brought back to bring out your Simorgh, Bird of Sovereignty. Best, if not one of the best link monsters around. You can't use him as link material, so that kind of sucks. He is a really nice link 3. Your opponent cannot target him or winged beast type monsters you control that this card points to. If he were to be destroyed by battle, you can destroy any other Simorgh card on your field instead. And during both players' end phase, you can special summon a winged beast monster with a level equal to or less than the total number of unused spell and trap card zones in the field. Fortunately, if you have 2 of them, you can only do that effect once, but you can bring out your Apex Avian, you can bring out your Barrier Statue. You have so many options with this card. You could also play Great Fly, just boost your monster's attack. Not bad there. Almirage, just to get some links going. 1 Hyperspeedroid Rubber Band Shooter. This just gives you an extra summon, pretty much. 1 Win the Wind Charmer. It's not great, but with some other wind decks competing, maybe in the future, like Dragoonides are really the only ones I could think of. Maybe you can have some advantage with this, or maybe when the Charmer structure deck comes out, you can do something with this. Otherwise, it's just another link. 1 Link Rebo, and 1 Anima for the level 1 plays, and a Cerberus to get rid of monsters. You won't really need Phoenix in this deck. 1 Borload. And the only other link monster I would suggest, unfortunately I don't have it, is called Firefighting Darmadal. It's a link 2 that requires Link Beast and or Wing Beast and or Beast Warriors. It can blow up back row on both players' sides of the field, and if he destroys a monster by battle, I do know that you can get a banished Wing Beast or any of those beast combinations from your graveyard or banished zone to your hand. So really good at recycling there. Unfortunately, I just don't have one. The last card, of course, is 1 Scarlight. Thank you guys so much for watching.